you tired of the typical libraries with conventional music that makes you feel meh? Introducing Leerecs.com, the music website made for and by minds like you. Our team are lifelong musicians and producers in love with music. Search the Leerecs music catalogs and find music with guaranteed originality. Mark the difference with music of signature at Leerecs.com.
Wash me in the river, honey. I don't care. My sins are forgiven, baby. I don't care. You're the one saying, honey. Well, I don't care.
This awesome song is River, and we have the artist with us, 𝘠𝘬𝘳𝘯𝘵, hardworking artist, and this song is just fantastic. Hi Jimmy, how's it going?
I am blessed. I'm happy to be here, and thank you for having me on.
Absolutely. Well, very absolutely deserved, and we are thankful, actually really proud to have you. I've seen a few of your videos, and this song is just amazing. The best thing we can do is, please take the floor and introduce yourself and your music.
Absolutely. My name is Jimmy. I go by 𝘠𝘬𝘳𝘯𝘵. I am from Mexican descent. I'm Mexican. I am right now in Los Angeles, and I've been living here for some time now. I've been doing music for quite a while as well, but I've been pursuing my solo career for a little over 3 years. And I'm really excited with how quickly everything has been developing up until this point as well, which is, like you mentioned, The River is actually a song off of my new album. And I'm really excited about this whole project as a whole, because I feel like I captured my best in a way that I feel I wasn't able to in the past.
Beautiful. How so? What do you think is different now that you are in your solo career?
Oh man, that's a very interesting question, because as much as I'm passionate about music and everything that has to do with it, I'm also equally passionate about just spirituality and within myself. And I feel like I went through a lot of difficult moments in the recent years, and it was very difficult to I kept doing music, of course, but I feel like I needed to come to a certain point as a person, as a human being, with everything I was going through, to really channel it and really learn. I had to learn. Even though I'd been doing music for a long time, it was never me as the artist or me as the singer. So in a way, I had to learn myself. I had to learn how to maneuver in this new space. And once I did that, and getting to this point, and just the resources, everything that's come together, like the musicians for the project, the opportunities for the project, all of it's just timing as well. If it were up to me, I would have been at this point in my career a long time ago. I've always wanted where I'm at now. But that's been also too. I've had to be had to be patient, and just continuing working. So what's different now is me. That's the main component that's different. I feel through all of these challenges, I've taken them head on, and I have been able to grow as a person. And so I always translate that into my art, into my music. And so I feel that because of that, it's given me the avenue to really channel everything. And then really all the other things, man, I just feel blessed, to be honest. I feel blessed and lucky to have everybody that's helping me out now. And just like I feel like I have a team now that believes in my vision as well. And that's the difference. But, you know, sometimes you can't start like that right away. So you just got to keep going to build that team and to build yourself and everything that has to do with whatever that dream is.
Absolutely. I think everything you're saying is tremendously wise. We have to understand ourselves and sometimes go through these learning process to get to the other side of a river, like you were saying, and really find who belong in with us and who's going to be
right.
part of the broader understanding of ourselves, right?
Yeah.
This makes full sense to me. In terms of your music, how is your composition process? Who do you rely on? Who do you play with? Tell us a little bit of that.
Sure. Man, you know, whenever I talk about music, I really am in love with all of it, from practicing to writing to performing to touring to all of it. So every piece of it is in my heart like a puzzle piece to the big whole. So when it comes to writing, I feel like that's one of my favorites because I can really just let out everything. And I really do I've always enjoyed writing. So the process for me usually just starts with the feeling. I feel like I have a yearning or a feeling or an idea, or even sometimes some sort of negative feeling that I bring and I bring to the paper and I write. Writing for me is very intimate, and when I start writing, I always prefer to just be by myself or alone, just because I feel so vulnerable when I write, and I feel like I just want to be by myself and just so I can just let it all out. And then once I kind of work through that, and I kind of just work out versions of whatever idea I have, when I feel good enough, then I take it. I have my partner, bandmate, his name is Sharky. He's usually one I rely on after that. You know, I bring like a basic blueprint of a song. But the thing with me also too is whenever I move anything to the next level, whether it's a song or whatever, if it's just to the band or if we're going to the studio, if I'm moving it to the next step, it's because I feel ready. So if I'm moving it in the next part of the process out of my own intimacy, I guess you could say, of being alone and writing, it's because I feel like, okay, I worked this song out to where I feel like I think I got something. Everybody has their own way of writing. I know, you know, some artists like to go to the studio and write. Others collaborate, things like that. Man, for me, like I just feel like this is a great way for myself because even when I get to the studio, I'm not that kind of person to write in the studio. I'm ready to go. So when we're going already have a song or songs in the studio, I feel that if I'm prepared and the band's prepared and everyone's prepared, you can then give yourself freedom of creativity because now you know what you're doing. So now you can say, okay, let's see if something comes up or an inspirational moment happens. Oh man, okay, let's capitalize instead of trying to search for those things. At least that's the way I see it. I feel like if I'm as prepared as I can be, then I'm leaving room for creativity and the other things that I can't control, or the sort of divine things that I have no control, because I really feel music is that way. It's magical, you know? So I have this respect for it, that if I feel that I'm doing the best I can, somehow God will allow me to tap into something.
Certainly. Do you want to talk a little bit about the spiritual side and what it means to you, how the space that it has in your music?
Yeah, it's you know, spirituality was a big struggle within me because I grew up in a Christian home, and my faith in God was big, huge growing up, and I appreciated that. I appreciated the values that my parents taught me, because it wasn't just about going to church, or it wasn't the religious things. It was the lessons I was getting at home too, when it came to these spiritual things and laws or guidelines, whatever you want to call them. And then also the biggest proof for me was just watching my parents. They lived what they preached. And so for me, I was able to take these lessons and actually apply them, because I was seeing them in real life through my parents. You know, as I grew up, and then because I never thought about a musical career, you know, it always just seemed like some distant dream. But when I started to write music and all of these things, you know, there were always questions inside of me that I felt like the religion or the church wasn't answering. And I had a strong passion to figure out these things, you know. And so right along, like I said, when I was journeying along my musical career, I was also journeying along spiritually, you know, trying to study philosophers or philosophies about life, about spirituality, about life and death, just because I wanted to know, I wanted to have more understanding, not necessarily to put it into my music. And then, man, when I moved out here to Los Angeles, I feel like a lot of my life changed. Even that, when it came to spirituality, I feel like, whoa, I was able to learn even more. Yet at the same time, I feel like because of the challenges that were happening at the same time, in a way, I started to lose that faith too. I started to feel resentment, started to feel anger, just a lot of different things when it came to religion and other stuff that I won't get into. But man, I'm glad that I didn't give that journey up, man, because like you said, it's sometimes hard to see the other side when you're just swimming along in just dark waters, man, you know, or it's dark, metaphorically speaking. But I'm glad that I kept going, because with this music that I'm creating now, and even myself, I just had a performance Thursday, a rock performance, and even that, I see how things are different now when I perform, or like in a, I don't know how else to say it, but in a godly manner. Like, wow, this is amazing that my music that energy is impacting in a great manner. And it's not necessarily that that I'm talking about spiritual things necessarily in my music, although it comes out somewhat in metaphors or examples, because it's my life, you know, and it's an artist will always express themselves from that point of view of who they are sometimes, you know. But now that I'm in this new space and I feel like I have gotten better clarity and I'm allowing myself to be free in that, I see it. I see that work that God is allowing me to do. And not just that, but if we just bring it back away from the spiritual side and on the real, I guess you can call it the facts or whatever here, everything's growing, man. Ever since I decided to just really channel everything in and say, you know what, I really want my music to be purposeful. I really want my life to be of great meaning. I really want that anytime I perform, anytime I go anywhere, that whoever I encounter, that it's a positive thing. And I think that that's what made the difference, as opposed to before just kind of in my head, whatever. But now I'm saying, no, this is, what do I want to, well, it's like I came to a point of asking myself, who am I? What do I want to be represented as? What is my music? What will be my legacy? And when I started to think like that, it helped me to define myself. And also it helped me to lose the fear of like, man, like, cause, you know, I hadn't, I guess you could say, been a practicing Christian for a long time, but now like in this new realm of my life and feeling like I feel God again, it's like, well, it was a bit fearful, because it's like, well, I don't know how to maneuver in this new way, you know, because I'm not, like I said, I'm not putting that stuff in my music necessarily, but I do want that divine power though in me and in my music. So with doing that and seeing the proof in just this short amount of time, in only like about 2 months, you know, since I really made that decision, it's been awesome, man.
Wow. Incredible. You know, we at the end, we're channeling a higher power, and sometimes it comes on through on in the shape of a song.
Yeah.
So it's incredible that you feel this purpose now, and it's amazing.
And music, man, music is so. I feel honored to be able to create it because I really truly feel that music has always been and always will be. It's just one of those mystical, universal things that's like, wow. And you're right, a song can change everything. You know, those vibrations can change everything. A song can unite a world, a country. A song can set somebody free. Like, it's just like, wow, that's giving me goosebumps right now. So it's like, man, you're right, you know. And so for me, I feel honored, and that's why I always make sure to honor music by making sure that I'm diligent with my craft.
Wow, impressive. I love it. I love what you're saying. Truthfully, music is tremendously powerful, and like you said, it it can really affect human life of all of us, individually or as a group, and the music has a lot of power. And I am glad to hear you reutilizing it to channel a purposeful life, and also to break through and break out of journalistic understanding of what's right and what is the right way to honor your spirituality, or you have to find, in my view, your own way to do it, to do what to do it the way that feels correct, that feels right to you.
And you hit it, man. You just said it. Everybody talks about, well, where do I find the answer? What do I do? And it's like, it's gonna be inside of you, and that's our biggest mission, I feel, in this lifetime. How deeply are you going to get to know yourself? Because I feel like if you take the deeper you take the dive of really understanding your own self, I believe that the deeper you go, the more you can manifest in this lifetime of your soul. That's goodness, including your dreams, including your desires, but also more to leave behind of this world. And I feel like that you said it. It only comes through getting to know yourself, and I feel like that's the biggest work that we have, because there's so many layers, but it's beautiful at the same time.
It is, definitely is. It definitely is. And I like that in this world of where everything is instantaneous, we don't pay enough attention to the long term, to our legacy, to what happens when we get to the other side of whatever is going on right now. We don't necessarily need to react to the moment.
Right.
It's a better purpose, better approach.
That takes discipline. And that's why I feel too. I woke up in that sense of like, man, I want to be able to, as much as I can, help others, show others, because I feel like some of these things are just like, people just don't have that understanding yet, and of just, oh man, just how much power everybody has within themselves. But yes, it takes discipline. It takes discipline to like not react to certain things, or it takes courage to face your fears, to face traumas, to face problems, and to come on the other side with a better version of yourself. It does take courage, but man, like I just want to tell people that you are courageous. It's already in you. You just got to look for it. You just got to find it. And if my music, if anything that I represent can be that spark, that's what I want it to be.
That is a wonderful purpose. And think of it, like how many people are able to hold your look, to look yourself in the eye, in the mirror, hold it for a long time and see who you are. And that sometimes it's a little bit scary to to strip everything off and just discover yourself.
Yeah, because you start to see the imperfections, you start to see maybe the wrongdoings, or you start to see mistakes. But then it's like, hey, everybody's in the same boat. Some people may be in a higher plane, you know, they may be mastered, but that's their own journey. At the end of the day, man, we're all humans. We're all just wanting to live and find a purposeful life here. We're wanting to enjoy things. So it's like, when I start to think like that, it's like, no, you got to let that go. Because you got to remember, yes, you want to look at your life and you want to see it as best and truthfully as you can, but only for the purpose of bettering yourself, getting that taken away or putting on. Never for the focus of focusing on that only, because then if you do, that's when you start getting down on yourself, you start judging yourself, you start comparing, and it's not that at all. You know, it's always to make sure, put that focus on the solution. Okay, so here's the problem, or here's, if I look this way and like, man, I have this problem or this imperfection, or like, wow, I'm trying to lose weight, or I'm trying to gain weight, or whatever. But it's always with like, okay, but what's the solution, instead of getting down, you know? Because I feel like that's where I was getting stuck too sometimes, you know, like getting so down on like, I don't have this, I don't have that, and wow, why did this happen? And then the more you're in that energy, everything is energy, man. And we attract it. The more you're in that energy, it's going to continue to just flow back to you. And so, yeah.
100%. These are wise words. ElJimmySwagg.
𝘠𝘬𝘬𝘬𝘬.
We're listening to River, and your new album is St. Mary?
St. Mary, yeah.
Beautiful. I mean, wonderful. This is really deep conversation. This is just the way that I like it. You have a lot to offer, much beyond your music.
Yeah, you know, and that's why I'm driven, man. I'm driven to really take this to the world and to do whatever I can to scale myself, because I feel like I do have something that's God-given that I want to share, and so that's why I work so hard to grow on the business side and to grow on the financial side, so I can continue to have resources and tools to continue to broaden this message.
At the end is a mission, not for yourself, but for the general, the good of others as well, the goodwill. Yeah, man.
Yeah, man, because music, that's what music did for me as a kid. I saw these bands like Guns N' Roses or Metallica or even Michael Jackson, and because of music, it's like, wow, this is possible. You know, so it's like you said, music is so powerful, and yes, it ever since I moved away from myself, which just happened recently, man, and put the focus on, okay, what am I representing, and putting the focus on music and others. What do I want others to feel? Once I started doing that, man, wow, God has been moving, and then everything's been moving. So I guess that's my advice for anyone listening, man. Whatever it is that you're involved, or whatever business or whatever dream you have, remember that the biggest impact is for others, for the world. Yeah, you may want to be rich and you may want to attain certain awards or whatever, but you're going to get so much more fulfillment when you think about others. What problem does your product solve, or how better is it going to make somebody's life? Things like that, you know, when you're thinking about others, I feel like, man, you not only will get the material things, but as a human being and as a soul, which is way more important, you'll get that part too.
Absolutely right. Nothing to add. These are very wise words. This was fantastic. 𝘠𝘬𝘬𝘬𝘬, you're playing right around LA currently, is that right?
Yes, correct. Right now in LA, getting ready to release the album. We're playing in a few countries, things in Texas and Nashville later this year, and we're wanting to make our way, hopefully by the end of the year, to Mexico as well. And now, that's all to say, if everything goes how it's going, because, man, things could change. Like, already in a month and a half of this year, I've grown so much, and like so many things in my album hasn't even dropped yet, and so it's like, wow, we could be doing way more. Who knows? But As of right now, yeah, LA, and I have a few gigs around. But like I said, man, just being diligent on making sure that everything that I'm putting out is the best, and also on the business side, so that I can soon go on tour.
You're doing an awesome job. The music you're releasing is top notch. This River song is wonderful, and you're really hard working, and just keep us posted. We wish you really the best. We think we're going.
Thank you, and I accept it. I accept that wish.
Yes, and you will get it. Again, 𝘐𝘯𝘕𝘬𝑠wagg. This is River. We're going to thank you once again for giving us a little bit of your time and your wisdom.
Well, thank you. Yeah, thank you for having me on, and whoever's listening, thank you too.
Beautiful. All right, so we're going to enjoy a little bit more of River. Let's go.
My sins are forgiven, baby. I don't care. You're the one saying, honey, well, I don't care. Take me to the river, you can't drown me anyway, 'cause I ain't afraid to lose what ain't mine. Take me to the river, I don't love you anyway, and I ain't afraid to die tonight. Love me in the river, honey, I don't care. Hate me in the river, honey, I don't care.
Are you tired of the typical libraries with conventional music that makes you feel meh? Introducing Leerecs.com, the music website made for and by minds like you. Our team are lifelong musicians and producers in love with music. Search the Leerecs music catalogs and find music with guaranteed originality. Mark the difference with music of signature at Leerecs.com.